What's up guys, it's Intelitech Studios here, and today I am showing off my launch model Xbox 360, and that's Discord. But yeah, so I got this a little bit ago. It is a launch 360. I just now recorded the dashboard footage, so the capture, so I can go ahead and unplug this. I forgot that it needs the push the buttons to pull the cord off. So there's the dashboard footage, which it will switch to as soon as I finish this beginning part of the video. So a little scuffed up, but you know, nothing too major. Faceplate broke. That's actually my fault because I swapped the spring with one from a black faceplate, but the original faceplate that it came with doesn't have that defect. But then again, pretty much all 360s have that because the USB ports. It's got an original 20 gig hard drive, which I purchased separately. I purchased this long before, but you can tell that this is all my, come on, focus, there. It's funny because a YouTuber I watch by the name of Arcade Machine 15, who wanted me to post this video, he was using a Galaxy S6 and was having problems with focusing. I'm using a Galaxy Note 5, which has the exact same camera in it. Although I love the camera on this phone, I like this phone. But yeah, so this is the original 20 gig hard drive. I've heard that only developer editions of consoles have these stickers, but this one has it for some reason. This little metallic chrome piece is popping up, and it's got the chrome on the sides. So it has the chrome on the sides and on the disc tray, because this is a premium model. Later people called it Pro, and then eventually Microsoft started calling it Pro, but this is back when it was just Xbox 360. I covered up the serial number because I was going to sell it, but I don't really care, so I'll take that off so you can see the serial number, because I don't mind. It's not like anyone's going to use this and register it anyway. It has been opened, it looks like, because this is very badly worn, unfortunately. And obviously, since this is a launch console, it's a Xenon motherboard, so 16.5 amps, 12 volts. It's crazy how this Xbox uses more energy than that vacuum cleaner over there. Like, it's crazy, but these things always sucked up a lot of juice. So as you can see, it was manufactured January 4th, 2006. So it's not a launch per se, but it's still one of the first wave units. You can tell because only the close to launch models have this dark silver trim on it, whereas later models, in fact, I can show you because this is my personal 360, which I'm going to upgrade tomorrow. I'm going to finally get a slim because this is just too freaking loud and it's been bothering me. But this one, which is also a Pro, if we look, this particular unit also has the chrome on both sides, but if we look, these top pieces are different. It's a little bit hard to tell in this light, but you can tell this one is lighter, or darker actually. It's weird, because at an angle this looks lighter, but it's actually, mainly tell if you look at the hard drives. Okay, here, from this angle you can see it. Because this is a much darker, it's a dark silver on the trim and on the hard drive, which is much nicer than this, which is just a gray, and it's kind of dull and stupid. But I could theoretically swap these side panels onto this 360 and then it would look much nicer, but I mean, I don't really care because I'm gonna retire this in a few days anyway, and because, you know, this kind of adds to the original factor of this, because only the original close to launch models, Pros specifically, have this trim, because the cores always have this gray trim. And then I don't know if it was until the Elite came out, but I believe it wasn't until the Elite came out, which is April 2007. I believe that 2006, like late 2006, was when they stopped doing this dark silver and they just shifted all the units over to gray, much like this unit is. So all of them looked like this. All the non-Elite models just had this gray like the cores did and later the arcade. So I kind of miss that because this is really nice. It looks much nicer. It's a much darker color. There's also a corresponding controller that has that, which I used to have, but I don't anymore. I just have one of the ones where it's gray. But a launch controller, even the wireless controllers that you bought separately for quite a while, had that same dark silver trim on the bottom, and it was actually a bit smoother of a material. It was almost like what it is on the Slim controllers, how it was a more smooth plastic. But then again, that could have just been because the one I had was worn out, so who knows. I have my main one has a silver faceplate on it, but as you can see, the trim is the same and everything, but that's the main difference. And obviously on the back, this one has HDMI, this one doesn't. This one's a Jasper motherboard, and this one's never been opened. This one's a Jasper, and I don't want to show my serial number on this one. Actually, that's where that tape will come in. Put that tape there. And there we go. So this one, my main 360 was made, and yes, this is really dirty because there was like a stupid GameStop sticker underneath it, and I peeled it off, but it left some adhesive, so a bunch of dust and dirt that I'm assuming blew out of the back of the 360 stuck here. So this one was made in February of 2009, and this one was made in January of 2006. The text actually looks much cleaner on this one, which is kind of funny. But this one's also bolder. I'm assuming that's probably to thwart against the sticker being worn off. So yeah, this one's a Jasper that has HDMI. This one is obviously a Xenon without HDMI. Also, side note, I see this all the time with 360s where people have the hard drive on, but they don't seal this back piece, which I've seen that even professional YouTubers, they don't do that, and that really annoys me. So please hook it from the back and the front so it stays on, so it's not crooked, and it actually is connected to the console. But I digress. So obviously same layout. Yeah, so this basically is a rare model at this point, but ow, oh. So actually, yeah, so it was opened. They just opened it less sloppily than whoever opened this one. Or no, more sloppily. But yeah, but that is the original. There's no newer Microsoft sticker, so it's never been sent into Microsoft, refurbished by at least a first or a third party that decided to put their name on it. I'm gonna guess that someone ripped this open and was going to fix it and got cold feet, because this does have E74 once in a while. Like once a week I'll go to turn it on, it'll E74, but I've never had an E74 and it stayed like that. Every time it E74s, I always will simply reset it and it will immediately come back on. So and I looked up the secondary error code for the E74, and it's the cold solder joint. So it's probably a capacitor or something very similar to what Arcade Machine 15's launch 360 had, where it had a cold capacitor, or at least that's my guess on what the problem is. No red rings, no 3 red lights, never happened to this machine as far as I'm aware, and I've owned this machine for about 2 months now, and it's still in that condition. So in the 2 months that I've used this on and off, I've turned it on maybe like a few dozen times, probably like almost 50 times at this point. I think it's E74'd on me 3 times, I believe. So it's not that prevalent, but when it does happen, you just reset it and it always comes back on. So I don't know what the deal is, but that's what it's doing. I could probably fix it myself and then JTAG it and all this, but I have no desire to do that. I mean, I have the desire to, but like as far as like actually going about it, like I'm just not, it's not a priority for me at this point. So to have this sit here and just collect dust is kind of, you know, I just don't really like that, especially because there's probably someone who could use it. I've had this on Craigslist for a while now, but nobody's bidding on it. I have it set at 100 because these old models are usually worth around 150. I haven't had anybody get on yet, but in my small town, I'm sure nobody cares about JTagging or reset glitch hacking a Launch 360, especially one that doesn't have HDMI, because obviously this isn't rare, because this is the most common model of the 360 that's out there. I don't know, but that's basically what it is. Yeah, that's basically the physical tour, and there's the bottom. None of the pads are missing or anything. This side is kind of dirty. This side, a couple nicks, but overall it's not in the worst shape in the world. I've seen ones where they've turned yellow and they've just been treated terribly, kind of like what a Super Nintendo would do. But this is still in good shape, you know, and the main thing is that it has the dashboard. So that's basically it. So here's the dashboard portion of this console.